Hello and welcome to Goodwood and R-cubed submission for this award. We're so excited today to be talking to you about our estate email and the journey we've gone on from overload to relevance, transforming our email strategy with our fantastic data agency. I'm Natalie Fordham and I'm CRM manager at Goodwood, very proudly so. And today I'm joined by Beth Lawrence from R-cubed, who's our account director, and we're going to talk to you a bit about one of our favourite projects, and hopefully definitely Beth's favourite project. But of course, in order to do that, I need to tell you about Goodwood. So we are a historic 300-year sporting estate that started with the very first Duke of Richmond, and I believe now we're on our 12th. So it's grown from a very small hunting lodge to over 30 different businesses delivering world-class headline events such as Festival of Speed, Goodwood Revival, and maybe you've heard of it, horse racing's glorious Goodwood, the highlight of the flat racing season. At least we think so. We have a whole host of businesses, including annual memberships, such as our Motorsport GRC Road and Racing Club. We have our kennels, which is our kind of primary clubhouse, as well as annual memberships such as golf and health and wellbeing. So if you're really interested in, trying to get down to become a scratch golfer, we're your place to do it. But we also have a whole host of 365 businesses and experience. So you can come for afternoon tea and tour at the house. You can experience our fantastic hotel, which of course is dog friendly. And you can also come and experience our fantastic restaurants, which if you are in the Chichester area, please do come to the Farmer Butcher Chef. It's my absolute favourite thing in this world. But that does mean that as marketers and as, data people, we have a significant challenge of how do we communicate all of these businesses to our customers in the right way. And I'm a little bit ashamed to say that we had a significant problem with that. So previously, we were very much emailing all of our customers all of the time about every single business. So we were definitely committing the ultimate sin in marketing of overmailing and annoying our customers, which was leading to high unsubscribes, and of course, a real decline in engagement year on year, so decreased clicks and also click-through rate. So we've got Mrs. Martin here as the example, and we can see that, she's been to the hotel quite a few times. She's a real advocate of our farm shop, but she's not a motorsport fan. But previously, she would have had every single one of those messages, including things like, and here's our experiences. Here's our brand new dog event, Goodworth, which please do come to. It's fantastic. It's my favourite thing, other than Farmer Butcher Chef, but obviously can't do that. And we also have the fantastic, all of the other businesses that we would have been talking to. So we had a real challenge that we took to R-cubed, and we wanted to serve the right message to the right customer at the right time. And how do we do that in a personalised way? So Beth is now going to talk to you through the solution that they proposed and we enacted.
Thanks, Natalie. So for the solution, we decided to introduce the estate email, which is essentially moving to sending just one email per week to each individual. But every element of this email is completely personalised based on each individual's interests across the 30 different business areas. The objectives were clear. We wanted to increase click rate, drive up the average clicks per individual, and reduce unsubscribes. Prior to the introduction of the estate email, we would see different individuals who were all engaged with email, but with very different interests, receiving all the same emails from all the different business areas in the week. For example, Mrs. Martin has only shown an interest in farm shop and the hotel, whilst Mr. Smith has shown an interest in Festival of Speed and Motor Circuit. But they were both receiving all 4 Solus emails, whether of interest or not. After the introduction of the estate email, we now have one email sent to each individual each week, but the content and blocks are all driven by their interests. So now you see Mrs. Martin just receives one email with a content block about hotel and farm, whereas Mr. Smith receives a content block with Festival of Speed and Motor Circuit, all in line with their interests. This approach allows for a cross-sell opportunity as well, without harming overall engagement or deliverability for the email. For example, for Mr. Smith, we've added a farm message, which had to go out to the whole base. But by adding into the one email with other relevant content, this doesn't harm the click-through rate or increase unsubscribes, and it doesn't add another email into the already very busy calendar. This means almost every section of the new email is dynamic and personalised. And where we have on average 8 different interests featured a week, The result is far less overmailing and a much more engaging, relevant weekly touchpoint. So as you can see, the solution to deliver the estate email was far from simple. So we needed tools that could handle complex campaigns and personalization based on a huge amount of data and feeds. So we turned to Apteco, Fast Stats and PeopleStage to deliver this. Before we could get into the campaign build though, we needed to first understand how individuals are interacting with the different business areas. To do this, we ran analysis within Fast Stats to define those rules for the various interest groups. As each business area is very different, they require different actions to be classed within that group. For example, the actions to be assigned a farm shop interest are very different to the actions you'd take to be assigned a hotel interest. Let's take hotel as the example. So there are various actions that you can take to enter this interest: bookings, inquiries, clicks, or Wi-Fi usage, amongst many others. But for each of these actions, they needed their own bespoke recency and frequency rules applied to be retained within that interest. For example, how long should a click for an interest alone be kept versus a purchase? And how many times do they need to click? These rules needed to be agreed across all interests and future-proof to cover customer interest changes over time too. Once the rules were agreed for each of the interests across the business areas, we could then look to build the interest variables based on the complex criteria. We did this so that we have consistency and ease of use for future selections, future reporting and analysis, but most importantly, to build out the estate email. In order to execute the estate email, we heavily relied on PeopleStage to create the automated campaign file. This file powers the email build, and where there are over 1,000 interest combinations an individual could have, and every email delivered could be different, we needed PeopleStage to deliver this. You can see an example excerpt of this file in the blue, with Mrs. Martin and Mr. Smith's records highlighted and their relevant interests flagged. But also all of the other individuals on the base, with all of their potential interest combinations flagged, ready for contact. This file is then pushed to the email service provider to drive the dynamics within each block of the email and for broadcast, delivering a fully personalized email for each individual where every email could be different. PeopleStage also outputs this file to the SFTP so we can track subsequent clicks and transactions off the back of each block any individual has engaged with that week and go on to report on them. Natalie will now take you through the results.
Thank you so much, Beth. So, of course, we're really, really pleased to present you with the results. And by sending that one super targeted, personalized email, we saw over the first 6 months that actually we sent to less people, which is great, but also drove more clicks. So 70,000 less individuals sent to, but driving 84,000 more clicks. And of course, a rise in click-through rate by 2%, which is absolutely fantastic. But more than that, what we did was keep more people on the base. So a reduction in unsubscribe rate by 1.5%, which with a base of our size and the amount of businesses is incredibly significant. So engagement across the base is absolutely fantastic. It rose by 3% and average interest grew from 3.1 to 3.6. So we can continue to talk to you about all of our amazing businesses, but now we're doing it in the right way. Of course, there were some other amazing benefits, which I think the company are incredibly proud of. So we saw a driving of £4.5 million in revenue, and also we saved 16 hours of manpower per month on email builds. So we can use our team now much more strategically and much more effectively. And also we can show that we can also make money off of this strategy, which is fantastic. So we showed that, relevance really, really does drive engagement. So how do we use this for the future? Well, I'm very happy to announce that we are looking to build on the success of the estate email and all of the wonderful work that we've been able to do using the Apteco suite and, of course, R-cubed's data strategy. So what we're looking to do now in future is really put interest at the heart of all of our channels and optimize them by interest. But also, in order to do that, we need to look at the interest as a whole. No two interests are the same. And actually, my one click over here on fantastic dog content doesn't necessarily make me a Goodwood buyer, but my annual membership to the health club does make me a fantastic candidate for health and wellbeing, and that's what I want to be hearing about more because I'm consistently keeping that membership going. So now it's about how do we rank these interests and also how do they work across the different channels. For example, I might love my motorsport newsletter on a Friday, engage with it every week, but when I am getting other content, I'm actually not engaging with those businesses as much, but I really love their social content. And so I want my interest to be matched there and to be shown. So having this foundation in place, achieving the objectives and also the fantastic results that we shared with you, we're so looking forward to 2025 and taking Apteco and the estate email and working it even harder across the different channels. So thank you so much today, guys, for listening to us and hearing our story. And we'd love to hear from you and hopefully you enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you.